If you'd like to support my channel, consider becoming a patron. $2 gets you access to my videos earlier than YouTube, $5 will get you access to polls that determine my next review or let's play, and $10 gets you direct input into what content I cover. It also gets you extra entries into giveaways, and you'll get to see your name mentioned at the end of every video. If that doesn't do it for you, I have shirts and merchandise on Spreadshirt.com that you can also buy. As always, links will be in the description and the end slate. Hello lords and ladies, welcome back to Scooby Month on Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. Episode 5, Guess Who's Not Coming to Dinner, is just absolutely amazing. Why? Don freaking Knott says why, and if you don't agree, well, I respect your right to be wrong. I'm kidding. In all seriousness though, this really was a good episode. Growing up, I watched a lot of old movies and shows that my mom had. The Andy Griffith Show was one of them, and Don Knotts played the inept deputy Barney Fife in it. He was almost always the source of comedy and was my favorite actor for a while. So of course he lends a strong presence in the 5th episode of the new Scooby-Doo movies, where he plays, apparently not himself, but rather Homer Pipsqueak, a detective and master of disguise. In fact, he demonstrates this by pretending to be the maid, the butler, and the ghost of Moody. I don't want to gush, but he's just absolutely amazing throughout this episode. He utterly steals the show from its own characters. He plays off the Scooby Gang really well, especially Scooby-Doo. Even taking into account Knotts' excellent performance, this is hands down one of the most humorous episodes in the series thus far. The gang's reaction to the ghost, almost any scene with Scooby, and even Fred at some points. Going back to Knotts, he steals the show so much that even the villain and their motivations are barely a thing. If this entire episode had just been Knotts and there wasn't really a villain, it still would have turned out aces. Still, there may be some troubled by the lack of a real villain until the latter part of the episode. The captain's nephews show up early to actually kill the man. I know there has to be moments where death or similar things have been alluded to in the franchise prior to this episode, but this is the only moment I can recall when the characters actually talk about killing or being killed. There's even a moment where Daphne comments about how previous guests were probably still in the basement. That's really freaking dark, Daphne, come on. I think it adds to the episode though, not take away from it. The villains of the episode were the nephews of Moody, as I said before. Their disguises were pretty cool looking. They're ghosts, which has been done a lot in the series, but just the overall design was great. The yellow shroud with the near non-existent white face is just really interesting to look at. This ghost design also features into the video game Night of 100 Frights, but I'll show that off at a later time. Anyway, in conclusion, I think this is the best episode of this iteration of Scooby-Doo. Honestly, I'd even go so far as to say it's the best in the franchise up to this point. It has a lot of humor, a great performance by one of comedy's best actors, and just a good use of the 40-minute runtime. Go watch if you've never seen this episode. And that'll be it from me. Have you seen this episode? What did you think of Don Knotts, and do you have a favorite movie or show that he was in? Comment down below. Thanks for watching, and take care.